Product service differentiation is the process of developing and promoting differences between the products and services to its competitors, and product businesses are always looking ways to differentiate their products from competitors. If every product was the same, think about I was about to say another makeup one, but I'm not going to. Think about, it's just so easy giving you guys makeup ones, but I can't give you another one. Let's do, think about, this is bad. Let's do a laptop, because laptops are obviously differentiated. Yes, laptops are all going to perform the same function. You can use the laptop, go on Google, write stuff, take notes, etc. But different laptops have different features. Now, whether you buy a Mac, etc., what you're going to look at is the customer service. So when you go to the Apple store compared to when you go to JB Hi-Fi or you go to Bingley, etc., the environmental concerns, the convenience, the social and ethical issues, the value for money, all of these different factors are going to affect the product. Now, if every store sold every product like exactly the same, there wouldn't be competition. There wouldn't be competition. There wouldn't even be the opportunity to charge different prices. And that's why you can buy a laptop for a couple hundred or you can buy a laptop for a couple thousand, because the products are differentiated even though it's the same product. And that same kind of base product, because of different features, because of different value for money, because of different perceptions and reputations, and because of different customer service, and all of these factors are going to affect that. I love writing about product service differentiation because this is a very easy one to waffle. I know for a fact all of you guys, even if you this is the first time you've ever heard this, everybody watching this could easily waffle about product service differentiation because we're all used to it. I can go to Lululemon and buy a $130 jacket, or I can go to Kmart and buy a $15 dupe. What's the difference? What's coming into difference there? Is it the quality? Is it the service that I'm getting it? Is it the value? You guys know it. So it's the technique which markets try to create an image or identity for a product compared with the images of its competing products, and explores how potential buyers perceive the product. So a really good example of that is, like I said, Jetstar and Qantas. So Jetstar has all the non-essential features removed because it keeps the price low, while Qantas is the more luxurious choice, and they're very big on marketing strategies on the corporate market. So that's just an example of how either way you're getting the same service. You're catching a plane, you're catching a flight, and you're getting on a plane, but there's obviously different, and they differentiate the experience and that service in the customer service that they give, but also all the features and the benefits. So products are goods and services that can be offered in exchange for the purpose of satisfying a need, and their tangible and intangible products is the total product concept. So the product is the satisfactions, the brand name, the package, the warranties, but there's also intangibles of the product, which is the untouchable benefits. So the feeling of satisfaction, the safety, the prestige of having the newest iPhone, for example, or having the safest car, or driving a Tesla, for example. All that satisfaction that comes with that is intangible. I can't touch how happy I am to have a new phone, but you can feel that, and it's like untouchable. Branding is really important. And I love the strategies in marketing because they're just so fun to write about, because you don't need to know every single point. Again, you guys know what a brand is. You guys know that a brand, there's nothing that you would read on this page that you wouldn't know. And that's the best part about marketing, is that we're already so aware of it. So hopefully this is a bit easier to take in than some of the consumer laws and, the economic recession and some of those other bigger ideas. But the brand is obviously going to affect the marketing of the product, and the better known a brand is, the more iconic that brand is, or the better reputation capital associated with that brand, the better those outcomes you're going to see. So branding is going to help consumers because it helps them identify the specific products they like. They evaluate the quality based on that brand, and they can gain that psychological reward from buying from that brand, especially if it has the prestige and status, which comes a lot with branding of designer brands. But it also helps businesses because they can gain repeat sales, because people are like, oh, I've bought from this brand before, they're really good. It also helps them introduce new products if you already have your brand developed. So for example, Apple came out with the Apple Watch and everyone was like, yeah, we're going to buy that, just because it was Apple. But if a random brand new company came out with the same product, they wouldn't see that success. It also encourages customer loyalty because, like we said, If you're buying from one brand, like me, for example, I bought my iPhone. So when I went to uni, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a Mac, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get AirPods now too. And if I was to get a watch, it would be an Apple Watch, just so everything, aligns with that brand. But that's how they're getting that customer loyalty and those repeat sales. Packaging is really important as well because it serves as a form of communication with the customers. And it's the graphic design of the product. So the benefits of packaging includes obviously that it preserves and protects the product, but it also attracts consumer attention and it assists with the display of the product and makes the transportation and storage easier. But I know you guys surely you guys know someone, or maybe it's even you. And I used to do this as well. Like if you bought like a nice product, or maybe you got like a designer bag or something, had like a nice box, you put it on display. My worst era, I think I was like 9 years old, and Starbucks had just come to Australia, and I put my Starbucks cup, like after I got a drink, I washed it, and I put my Starbucks cup with the straw like on my shelf as like a decoration. Let's not talk about it. But that was my way of, like, I loved the packaging and the association. I was like, oh, I went to Starbucks. I'm all that. Thought I was so cool. I don't know why I'm admitting this online. Anyways, but it's just an example of, like, it's also the perception when you're talking about consumer influence and the psychographic influences too. 9 year old me thought she was all that. She thought she was all that because she had the nice Starbucks cup that she drank from on the shelf. So packaging can also affect the attitude and the perception. Labeling is so important, especially when it comes to food. And I know all of you guys have learned this in PDHPE. But according to New South Wales Food Authority, there are obviously food labeling requirements that they have to do, such as country of origin, the ingredients, identification of the lot number, the date mark, and the expiry, etc. Um, Now, labeling isn't actually on the business studies syllabus, but it's important that you write about it when you're talking about packaging and branding, because again, it's just something. It's one of those brownie points where it's like, oh, everyone's going to write if they're asked about this product or point, everybody's going to write about branding and packaging because that's in the syllabus. But now, like I said, if you're that marker, it's 12 o'clock, you're going through divorce, you literally hate your life, you want to leave teaching, and you're up to this 99th paper again, reading about packaging and branding. How nice to see somebody just add in labeling and talk about the presentation of the information on the package and how that is in line with government regulations. Just such a random point, still obviously connected, but not 100% necessary to write about, but adds that extra dimension, brownie point, and now they've got a better, and they're like, wow, this student knows what they're talking about, and it can actually improve their bias as they're reading and kind of improve their mood. And then we